Hey, welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, we made it till Friday.
It wasn't that hard, right?
I don't know. Had a couple of days.
It was rough because we had a snowstorm here that pretty much put us on lock for 2 days.
That's right. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't like shoveling, but it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we talking about tonight on our live episode?
All right. Tonight we're going to talk about
What are we talking about, Jay? We having the sledges on, right?
No, we don't. We just getting on, just having fun. That's what we're doing. Nah, just being with the one you meant to be with.
All right.
That's what we're talking about today. But we'll get started right after this. Hey guys, welcome to the show. Welcome back. We have Christina and Eddie here. Sledge. They're from Sledge House Media.
That's right.
They have a book out. The story of Christina and I. And what is the other one you have? You have two more there, guys. What do you have?
Oh yeah, we have our marriage and essay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we also have a fiction mystery suspense, which is Ricardo's Collisions.
All right. So we had Christina and Ed on this past Wednesday on episode number 87, which was called We Were Meant to Be Together.
Guys, once you read the book, you will understand the title here. Boy, I'm going to tell you, it was a fun conversation, but even better in the book.
So what does that mean for you guys? We were meant to be together. I think everybody thinks that. So why is your story different? Why do you guys think that you were meant to be together?
We have such a unique story because we actually had connection points before we even met. We didn't know. We had mutual connections right before we met. So, for example, his godfather lived right around the corner from where I grew up. And I would pass his house all the time.
Wow.
So that was an opportunity that we actually could have met. And then also I went to his school and my class performed Romeo and Juliet as a play at his school.
Yeah, like 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah. And so we found out later, he was like, "Oh, that was you? That was your class?" And then his uncle lived right around the corner from my great grandmother's house. So that was another, like, wow, oh my gosh, his uncle lived here all this time, and you were visiting him.
We didn't notice until we got married, and then we go visit her grandmother, or we go visit my godfather, something like that. We're like, wow, right there, my grandma lived right around the corner.
Right.
And then my grandfather, my uncle would say, "Hey, I remember them. Like I know them." So they would know them, and we just didn't know it.
And we were born in the same hospital. 4 months apart.
Yeah.
Wow. So I know you guys tell us when you got married, you had 50 cents to your name. So tell us that story, right? Because some people think they have to have their whole life set, stable before they get married. You guys got married.
So this is kind of like part of their love story.
Right.
So before we get there, let me cue this up so we could go ahead and get to your love story. So we're talking about your love story now. Not all of it, just a tidbit of a little bit, because we want to let them check out the episode number 87. You see it going across the screen there. Episode number 87.
We were meant to be together.
We were meant to be together. And also, don't forget, we're going to pick up Christina and book. But just give us a little bit of that love story.
About the 50 cents in your pocket.
Well, like we said before, we just got married. I was in the Army. She was a student. Both of us broke. Well, I still was getting paid by the Army, but not that much. So,
right.
But we knew we wanted to marry each other and didn't want to wait that long. That was the goal at first. So, we got some money. Probably.
Yeah, we threw caution to the wind, and we just said, you know what, we want to be together. It doesn't matter if we don't have this like huge wedding right now,
because it wasn't gonna happen in a long time anyway.
We didn't think that we'd be able to afford the wedding we really wanted, so But the key was we wanted to be together. We wanted to be married. And so we decided to elope. And when we did that, like Eddie said, we just didn't have any money. We only could afford, the wedding was $99. $99.
So you had $99.50. So you was like, we're gonna spend this last $100.
Yeah, because early that week we stayed. She was living around Temple, so early that week I stayed with her. So we was trying to conserve money as best we can. We paid for the marriage license, everything like that. So after everything that morning, we was.
Yeah, because he brought me a ring. He brought me. He brought me a nice diamond. It was actually Helzberg diamond.
Yeah,
right?
but it was cheap.
So he went.
No. You went to Helzberg, brother. Come on now. It wasn't that cheap.
No. It was good.
It was good.
It was nice.
Listen, you walked through the door and you purchased something, so you did it.
Right. Yeah. So I know you say after you got married, you called your dad, and what did you say?
Yep. So after we got, it was a snowstorm, so I picked her up, brought inside the car, opened the door, picked her up, put her inside the car over the snow. Right. She's wearing a high school prom dress.
Yes.
I'm wearing my Army Class A's because we was broke, couldn't afford a suit or anything like that.
All right.
And I dug in my pocket, and just all we had was 2 quarters. And we was like, wow. And then I used one of the quarters to call my father. And him and his girlfriend wired us Western Union $50, and we went to eat. Our first dinner was KFC.
Yeah.
And we served it, and we was broke.
We were living on a prayer.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
Hey, that's what happens. Hey, look at that. See what putting God first, right?
As you said, throwing it to the wind and knowing that everything will work out just fine.
I want to give her a shout out. We got someone out there wanted to say hi. Be Mad, 780?
Be Mad?
Yeah, Be Mad 730 said, want to say hi, everybody. Hey, we appreciate you watching. Thank you very much for checking us out.
That's right.
If you got any questions for the couple or for us, just drop them in there. We'll get them up on screen, all right?
All right. So what's the next thing we want to talk about? I know episode 87 told us a lot. It told us from the beginning of your story how you guys met in high school and then broke up and stayed broke up until you decided to get married.
Right.
So why did you break up? Just a little bit, right?
So we broke up twice.
Well,
right?
the last time. Talk about
2 or 3 times. You want last time?
Yeah, the last time.
Last time.
That's the one I want to know.
The last time I broke up with her because I until we wrote the book, I didn't realize that back then I had insecurities. I couldn't face the truth that I did. And, she was always having nice clothes, like, name brand clothes and all that. And I was just wearing arm fatigues, which later down the line, I was wearing every day at work on the Army.
Right.
I just didn't know it. But, so, I just felt like sooner or later she's going to break up with me, saying that, she probably met someone with a car or someone that had money or someone had clothes or just, I felt like
you weren't enough.
Yeah.
You felt like you weren't enough.
Yeah.
And Christina, did you ever feel that way?
No, not at all. Never. No.
Even if I would have told her that, which I would never did, and if she told me don't feel like that, I would never believe it. Because you don't want to live like your girl and your girl buying you clothes. It's been nice, but sooner or later I would have had to contribute something. So I just knew it was coming. So I just broke up with her without an excuse.
On the day after my 16th birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you picked. I'm telling you guys, you got to check out this episode because this is something else. I mean, they get a little bit into it, but the rest of it is, man, this is something. That's what I say when they say we're meant to be together. Truly, they were meant to be together just because of some of the things that they went through.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have another comment?
Oh, yeah. Be Mad said, what is your love language?
Mine's is just touching and smelling her.
So physical touch.
Physical touch. Okay.
And mine is quality time and words of affirmation. So yeah, those are the ones that work for me. And we had to learn that. We had to learn that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that's was taught.
And it's good that you learned it because sometimes we give love as he would have thought, me touching her all the time and wanted to be, just wanted to be next to her would fill her up. But actually you needed that quality time in the midst of being touched. So that it's important to understand what makes our mate feel love. And that's the importance of the show, right? Not just getting married, but understanding how to stay married. So,
Yeah.
Jason, what's the next topic we're
Well,
going to
before
talk
that,
about?
I mean, like B-Man might want to know my love language. I mean, he out there, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave him out there hanging. Yeah,
All right. So, what is your love language, Jay?
well, mine is, physical touch, quality time.
So I guess it's not just one.
No, I got a couple.
you and Christina
But one thing,
decide.
one thing I figured out that because we take this test often, and we find out that it all depends on where you are in
Well,
your
not
stage.
often, but we've taken it
At least
several
yearly.
times.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we
yeah.
did it at least once a year, a
And
couple
we
times.
realized that it has changed.
It changed. So
Not drastically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it changes depending on where your relationship is.
yeah. So what's yours?
I don't know. I don't have a love language. I love everything. No,
That's true. Yours changed big time. Yep. I
it
get
depends on where I'm. I like quality time.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. So
I
we
like
both like
physical-
that.
I like physical touch.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
That's
So-
right up there with me. So
Right.
we all good on that
We're
part,
all
baby.
good. All right.
But the
So-
thing about it though,
Compatible.
I had to make sure I learned the right words to say, because just because
Okay.
she wants to hear "I love you," like that does you got you got to say the right words. I had to learn the right words to say, and I'm coming from an all men
Good
house.
point, good point.
I just can't say, "Hey, give me some more," stuff like that. You have
Right.
to, I had to learn exactly what to say. So
What
now I
makes
say
her
it
feel
before
love?
I touch. Yeah.
Right. I think we all need to learn that, man. I'm gonna tell you that. Sometimes we just too aggressive. We go right for it, right? You just
Yeah.
you got to we need to know what to say.
Right. And when to
That's what
say
it
it.
and when
When to say it.
What to say, how to say it, all of it.
we're gonna go right on to the next thing here.
All right, what's that? We're going to talk about the proposal
Proposal
and
and
marriage.
marriage. Now this is funny. Now I just got to say this about you guys had broken up and you got back one together. Well, you didn't really get back together. You just how did
Happened to see
the
each other,
proposal
right?
just come to be?
Right, so just a little
you
bit
take
of it
it.
because we don't want an episode spoiler because the episode goes all into that again. Episode number 87, we were meant to be together, and they talk about their whole courtship, how they met, what drew them to each other, and then how they broke up and how they got back and how they ended up getting married. So tell us just a little bit, a real quick synopsis.
Really quick. So we were broken up for about almost 4 years, separate places. I was in Philly. He was in the Army in Georgia. Met back up in New York and Brooklyn for Christmas, and just
It wasn't meant to be to meet back up. It happens.
No.
It happened on it, like the line. Everything lined up for us to meet that time.
Right.
That time. Yeah.
And so we just got back together, said, hey, let's hang out, just to just catch up. And then we're going on a date, and so Eddie said, you know what, it's cold out, let's try to go see my father and meet him. And I know this is the first time. Now I remember he said he had some insecurities, but this time he came back and had a car now, he had a job, he was a soldier. So
He was looking
feeling
good,
more
huh?
Yeah. Body built a little bit there. Okay. Yeah.
He was walking a little different, wasn't he? He was like, hey, you want to go out? I got a car now.
I had my jacket open.
He
And we
was
see the
more
gold chain and
mature,
everything. The bracelet. I was feeling myself.
You was front.
That's good.
Look
You
at
said,
you.
yeah. He had something to bring to the
I
table.
had money for gas.
Hey, I've been there.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
So you guys get to his dad's house.
Yeah, so we're just hanging out, and he goes off, goes to another room. His father comes over to me and it's like, hey, would you marry Eddie? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, maybe in the future sometime. And then Eddie proposed, and
Well, then
it was just like
but
that.
Then, like 20 minutes later, I come out the room and I see my father, and he goes, "Hey, come here." And he said, Christine, she, because the old people call they used to, so you always call her Christine. Even to her face, and she just like this. So, so he said, Christine said, if you ask her to marry you, she'll do it in a heartbeat. I'm like, really? I'm gonna ask her. And I asked her an hour later, and she said, yeah. And
Yeah, I said yeah.
That was
that
funny.
was good enough for me.
Marriage wasn't anywhere in you guys'
None.
mind, in your
Nope.
thoughts or anything, right? You just like
Nope.
hanging out.
Not even that night we was together.
And
Didn't
old
even think
school just
about
say,
it.
"Hey, let me just do this," because they taking too long.
He had to do the
Wow.
matchmaker thing for
And
us.
that was it.
See,
Wow.
Pops knew what was going
He
on,
sure
right?
did. He was like, "You guys are wasting my time and
Right,
yours."
y'all around here playing around.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a quick comment from Lanice. Lanice, appreciate you watching. Hey, how are you doing, girl? It's nice to see that you're watching. Appreciate you. Tell like we said hello.
All right. Lanice says, "Hey, family." All right. So after you said, "Let's get married," and then you guys just decided to get married.
Now, wait a minute. I got Christina. So, y'all ain't been together for 4 years. Pop sits down and say, "You married?" And you go, "Yeah." Later on down the line, I would probably do it. Now, Eddie, you get that conversation. You like, "Yeah, she'll marry you in a heartbeat." Oh, straight? Well, you already got your answer, right? So you know when you go to Christina. When you go to Christine.
That's the old people stuff.
Right.
Jay calling you old. Wait a minute, Jay calling you old.
Hey, I am at this point. So when you go, you know that you already got an automatic yes. I'll take that in a heartbeat. I'll take that.
Yeah. I knew. You know why? Because I've been chasing her ever since I started dating her. Like, even when we was together, I was chasing her. Like, after class, I met her after every class after she got out of class of high school. I was there. I was there to walk into. I was always late to my classes. I mean, I was cutting classes. I was never going to school class anyway.
My teachers knew him more than I think most people should. They knew you even though you weren't their student.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So
okay.
Even when we broke up, other boyfriends, they knew. Even though I wasn't with her, I would walk. I would literally walk by her class every day to make sure that she was in school. That way I could
just make your presence, right? Just announce your
that way
presence.
she can see me and I see her out my way. So to have the opportunity for her to say, yeah, she, like I will marry him, it was a no-brainer. Like, come on.
So he was already feeling himself. Then he was like, "Oh, she gonna say yes."
You verified that, right? She gonna say yes. Yep. Okay, I'm in.
And my father, you know, he was serious at the time. So I was like, okay, wow. Like I thought she went to him and asked him.
Wow.
So I thought she brought up the conversation. So I'm like, okay, well, so you know, so she's like,
so he played it good. He got you guys good, right?
Yeah, but he never said it. But I always thought that she came and asked him. So I'm like, okay, if she asked him, she must be shy again. And then she, you know, playing the middleman. So I was like, okay, she want me to ask. I didn't know that he asked her. And she was just like, sure, you know.
All right.
But it was a game.
But here we are, 22 years later.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
That is funny.
All right. What's the next thing we want to touch on?
We're going to talk about the ups and downs of marriage. So what did you guys experience as you went through and you progressed through life? Just one or two things.
I mean, you have to have ups and downs because at that early and at such a young age, right? We don't even know half of the stuff that we know now. We didn't know then.
No,
and so just the issues and just being married in itself, coming together with another person with their, you know, I don't want to say baggage, but with
they bring us some baggage, baby. You want to keep it real. They bring us some junk, right?
So what were some? Go ahead. What were some of the ups and downs?
Well, you know what? When you talk about that, it makes me think of something. We were a military family. We talk about this in the episode, but one thing that we both brought to the table were just different ways. Even when it comes down to like groceries in the house and, you know, what we used to eat and have in the house, you know, Eddie didn't have as much. So when we're going grocery shopping, he's like, oh no, we don't need paper towels. We don't need garbage bags. Those are luxuries. We don't need that. Yes, we do.
And you know, the army bases have commissaries. So it's cheaper than the regular store. So garbage bags, we don't need that. What you mean?
I said, no,
we don't
we're
need
having
that.
garbage bags.
Yeah, we don't need paper towels. So she bought a little higher luxury too.
Yeah, we had to negotiate. You know, I had to let him know it was okay, you know, for us to have things that may not have been commonplace for him growing up. And, you know, these were things that we needed. You know, we needed, it may have been like a luxury at first, but that was where we kind of had to learn, you know, budgeting, in that same conversation, how do we stretch our dollars, and then also, what makes sense for us. So we learned a lot of that just with that simple thing of going to the grocery store.
It took me
as a married couple.
It took me a couple of years to understand to listen to her when she's talking, like pay attention to her, because when she was talking to me, I'm just a blank stare looking in her face. But once it dawned on me that she needed me to listen, and I had to repeat what she said and explain what she said back to her, that's when I started, putting it together, paying attention. And I'm glad I learned that early in our marriage, like the second year. But I had to listen and pay attention and don't give it a blank stare, like just shut up. Stare.
Yeah. Wait till you get to the end.
Yeah, I had to pull teeth to get him to talk.
Yeah. Because
he wasn't used to that.
Yeah, when like I said, we never lived together. So when we got married, that's the first time we actually lived together.
Right.
And and me growing up with all men, we didn't have to do this. Like my father had a girlfriend, he'd be like, "Yo, get out my house," if they argued. So he didn't have to sit there and
listen
and explain and repeat what was going on. So none of the guys in my house had to do that. So I didn't know how to do it. And once you start mentally breaking yourself down, understand you have to do that. It changed a lot in our marriage.
Yeah. We learned that skill, we learned that. Yeah.
And I think that's what saves it. We had another comment here, Lanice. Yes, I had to teach my husband about paper towels.
Oh, we're not the only ones? Okay.
I'm from a household that we used to wipe our butt with newspaper.
Okay.
So, wow. So just being real, right?
Yeah.
So we like to this day, I tell my kids, like, you're not wasting food, even though they do it. But I'm like, it was a scramble for us back then.
Right.
It wasn't like good times, but damn it, it was.
Right. It was a struggle. I get it. I mean,
that's right.
Listen, I grew up in the Inglewood area of Chicago, and people had it pretty rough. I mean, my mom, we had certain standards. I mean, we didn't eat a lot of generic stuff. We had, certain types of, condiments and stuff that we wanted to have. But we still lived in that area, but that mindset and stuff was still there throughout the neighborhood. So you go to somebody's house, they don't have, like, yeah, can I get some other ketchup? Because I don't really eat this ketchup. I'm like, no, you're getting this one. I'm like, okay.
What's the next comment? Right. So what is Lanice saying? I can't even read her comment.
What's she saying? Yep, man, do that, and I'm always right. Yep. She does that. She's always right. Man, she's always right. Yeah, I know women are basically always right, but yeah, we just need to listen. That's all. We just need to understand.
I wouldn't say always right, but they're 97% right.
I give you that.
I would say we're probably right 100% of the time if you guys listened all the time.
Yeah, sometimes I blank out.
Maybe okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
see, sometimes
right.
I can tell you right now. Sometimes I blank out.
Or you know what? We're not right at that moment, but then later you say, "Man, you were right. Like, I should have listened."
That's anyone.
I
can't be on my
Sometimes
side.
we
Eddie said he ain't buying that.
We kind of listen. We kind of use our intuition sometimes, and you guys, you just take everything face,
Yeah, we take it
face value. So, but one thing I wanted to point out. One thing I wanted to point out is that the good thing is that you guys came from different backgrounds, and we talk about marriages in different backgrounds because it did play a part in your marriage, but you learned to overcome it. And so, what are something that you can tell someone that come from different backgrounds and may not be so easy to and willing to kind of see the other person's point of view or to help work it out as easily?
Yeah, that's a great point. Good question. We learned that it really has to do with empathizing and understanding that person's point of view, because like I said, I didn't understand how we couldn't have paper towels. I didn't even think that was an option, but then once he explained it to me and I had to understand that, I think really it's trying to put yourself in their shoes and understanding, this is where they're coming from. And when you do that, it helps you both, you have to listen, like you said, definitely listen to each other and hear what they're saying. Try to listen from, okay, I don't have to be right in this moment, but I need to understand you.
Hey, let me tell you how this whole book, Christina and I, really came together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I knew my in-laws since I was 14 years old. Love my in-laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day we was like 3-5 years ago, we was talking, right? And we was comparing, where she lived at. And we both lived in Brooklyn. So at this time, I'm not thinking, even when I live in Brooklyn, I'm thinking everyone in Brooklyn lived the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we talking. I'm telling her how we grew up in the projects, and she knows that, right? And but she said, yeah, they had toys. They went out to eat, right? Restaurants, Red Lobster, this and that, and they had a playroom in their house, right? And I've been to our apartment before. And she said, yeah, we had a playroom for a toy. I'm like, playroom? What the hell is that? No one in Brooklyn had that. And she said, they had a room just full of toys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way in hell.
My brother,
there's no way in hell you from Brooklyn and you had a room full of toys.
Yeah.
Right? Seriously. Yes. And I'm like, there's no way in hell. And because she's from a poor area too, Brooklyn, crime rates,
Right. I mean, so you think because in your mind, everybody in Brooklyn lives this way.
Right.
And
there's no way you giving up a nice room that someone can have for just a playroom. I'm like, there's no way in hell you just got a playroom. And
for toys.
They all confirmed they did. And that's when I was like, okay, what else is going on now? What's the other secrets?
So we're comparing notes, and then my family, we're Caribbean, right? So they come from Panama and Barbados, and so we had a lot of cotillions and stuff like that. So we would, dress up, go to balls, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm telling him about this, and he's like, "What? This is another? What is who? What?"
And in the book, you can see in the book. If you read the book, when people read the book, you can see my part goes first. You're like, damn, like, does it even get better for this guy? And then you read her part, and you're like, oh shit, this is like I'm sorry for cursing, but you go and you look at our part, and you're like, what? Like my brother-in-law said it best. Like my part is like Any City Blues. Like, when you read it,
so wait, or it's sort of like West Side Story, right? Or Uptown.
But when you read her part, it's like I believe the Children of the Future, Whitney Houston, and it's like how do these two match up? So that's how.
That was all part of your insecurity, though, right? That's what you saw early on, but that's also what drew you to her. It wasn't just that it had to be some qualities. So, which means that we have to look beyond the material things in people, right? So many times today we're looking for mates that possess certain material things, but material things, as you learned, is not what makes the relationship.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
So what was one of the biggest hurdles that you guys had to overcome? Oh, wait, you
when
going to say a
LOL. Probably laughing at Eddie.
Right. So,
it's crazy.
I love the truth, boy. It's something. All right, so we're talking about
hurdles.
The biggest hurdle. That might be one of the biggest hurdles right there.
No, yeah, in his mind though, but.
Well, he even called me spoiled, He was like,
yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
I mean, like, if you grew up with a playroom, yeah.
Playroom. I'm not talking about like a small room, like a closet. They had I seen that room before. I didn't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a teenager. I'm just walking by the rooms and it was open. So I don't know what it is. It's a real playroom. I'm like,
I barely had a place to sleep, and you guys got a whole room that you designated the toys. Come on now.
It's crazy. So
it became my bedroom actually when I got older.
Yes.
But I can see how going back to the paper towels, right? That could have been a hurdle because in his eyes, he's like, we don't need that. Just because you grew up with it, those are luxuries. You don't need it, and you're thinking, no, this is a necessity. Mm-hmm. So what? Besides the paper towel and the grocery list, what were what was one of the biggest hurdles that you guys had to overcome with your differences, or just about marriage, your ideal of marriage in general?
Yeah, I think it was like definitely being in a military family. We talked about that a little bit, where it's. You have to kind of negotiate living in that culture. It's a whole subculture in itself. And was something I wasn't completely prepared for, to understand that, me and my career would take a back seat to his career as a soldier.
Wow.
And, it's just expected. The captain is like, well, he's being deployed.
And she used to try to call.
That's
Can
it.
you not take him, please? I'm a new wife. I'm a newlywed. I'm pregnant. And can you not take him? They like, look, I'm sorry. We have to take everybody, please. I'm like,
She thought that was gonna help, huh?
Yeah,
I'm
like,
gonna
you
try
can't do
it.
that, man. You can't do that. You can't. I mean, you can, but it's they laugh at you. Like, hey, you trying to get out of it. Like,
And so
it's Eddie's wife again.
And she will. Christina will call. She will write a letter. She's crazy.
So then, but they had a group. It's called the FRG. It's a family readiness group, and basically what it is other wives. It's the like captains and the officers, like their wives head it, and then it's really as a support group for other wives, other military wives, other Army wives, so that they can have a group. Someone like support group basically to better understand how you transition, because they're in it with us. When their soldiers go away, our soldiers are gone as well. So that was the group that kind of educated me on how to function.
Get tough. They really were toughen you up. Look,
right, and just say you're a single mom basically, and so I had to then have to negotiate that with like my employer, and my husband's deployed, so I have to leave at a certain time. I need to pick up my child, that kind of thing. So we had to learn those things early on, and it definitely was a struggle until we figured out how to juggle it all, and me to be a support to him, because he also needed support while he was away to know that everything's okay at home. So
because
we had to learn that.
The first time I had to, we had a field exercise for 2 weeks. She had to learn to drive a car, so I had to teach her how to drive a car like in a week, and she had to get a license. So we did that in the parking lot. Put 2 chairs in the back. I'm screaming at her. Neighbors are looking, because this she had to get a license, and then she had my daughter and a newborn, our daughter. So she was a single mother with 2 kids and needed a license. So we had to do that in a week, and it's
all right.
So everything was like moving fast, right?
When we look back at it,
we're not gonna give too much. We're gonna say it again. Jason, put the episode again. So again, their episode came out Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Yes, episode number 87. We were meant to be together. So real quick, tell us all of your endeavors. What is Sledge House Media?
Okay. Oh yeah. So Sledge House Media, we are a publishing and production company. We produce our own books. Oh, great. Thank you. There it is.
We have you covered.
So you can see our books there. We also have a short film that's out right now. And
what's the name of it?
Maryland Closed for COVID. And it really is like a homage to support really for all those Maryland businesses that had to close for COVID, because, we as patrons, we were impacted by that too. So it's just really just to kind of pay homage to that. And then we have several other books that are out. We have a mystery book right there. You'll see Ricardo's Collisions. It has great reviews. And we have a couple more coming out too. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Sounds good.
And this all came out of the pandemic, right? You guys started the media, about a year ago, correct? You just started? Okay.
Last January.
We just celebrated our first year anniversary in January, and we also have a book club. I forgot to mention that.
Okay, let's not forget that. You got a book club.
We have a book club, and all of our books, as a full media company, all of our books have soundtracks. So we have playlists for every single one of our books. So you can kind of listen along while you're reading. It gives you that full experience.
Even the Inner City Blues is in it.
Yes.
All right.
Man,
so
you
guys get to hear Eddie's story and Christina's story on Christina and I. So their book about them. All right. So Jason, tell us a little bit about us before we get out of here. We are way past our time.
I know. We you know what? When you're having good conversations, it's just hard.
Right.
Eddie came alive. It's like, we old friends, right? So we can sit down and we can chit chat like this, right? So
Eddie couldn't get over the playroom. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I wouldn't have been able to get over, because if I'd have walked in somebody's home in Inglewood and they would have said they had a playroom, no, I wouldn't have understood it. A bedroom that no one's sleeping in? No.
Yep. And they had a big family, so damn.
All right, so tell us where everybody can reach us at.
All right, so the podcast comes out every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcast delivered. So please check us out. Love and Beyond the I Do podcast. Like I said, everywhere. Amazon. We got a YouTube channel as well. Please check us out. We have 2 YouTube channels here. We do the Friday Night Live on Legendary Relationship, but we also have the Love and Beyond the I Do podcast YouTube, because all of our recordings from Wednesday also shows up on our YouTube channel. You can go over there and check the people out. I mean, like, you may be in the car riding around, you listen to it, and you want to say, I want to see what these people are all about. And you can come look up in the face and see what they're all about. You're like, yeah, I can vibe with them. Right? So once again, our guests, Christina and Edward Sledge.
Edward and Christina.
Edward and Christina. And they are, thank you very much for that. Co-founders of Sledge House Media. Their website is sledgehousemedia.com. It has been wonderful hanging out with you. We really, really enjoyed it. It's, Lanice says congratulations.
Thank you.
And rightfully so. You guys have done an excellent job. Hey, you can do a lot.
Yes.
People went through the pandemic and dealt with a lot of different things. You guys decided to tell your story, and look what it has led to. It's led to a company and a media. That's just a wonderful thing. You guys are a wonderful couple. I love your story. It's raw. And I just love the way you tell it, because you guys were meant to be together. I don't care what nobody says. That's it for sure.
Thanks for having us.
Lanice says something. What did she say?
She said, yes, and good conversation. It was good conversation, and that's what we like to do. We like to have real conversation with couples and let you know that, we're all going through something. We've all been through something. So
that's right.
It's okay, but we're here. We learn from those things, and then we'll move on.
And we're here to support one another in marriage. Talking about marriage, taking it off cruise control, and understanding that no one goes, no matter who you are, we all have the same issues. We just have to talk about them, bring them to the front, and learn how to deal with them.
That's basically it, baby. That's it. All right, so that's it. You guys want to say anything before we get out of here?
Hey, quickly. So our next fiction book is coming out April. It's Andre's Collisions. And in that book, we have a little small interview part in there, like someone interviewing 2 major people in the book.
Okay.
Y'all, one of the people in your company is going to be in our book next time.
All right. Wow.
All right.
So when it comes out, then you can see Jason and Tina Marie and your company name. What is it?
Legendary Relationship.
Yep. And they'll be right in the book interviewing 2 other people in the fiction book.
Oh, all right.
Well, thank you very much.
Where their books are also on our website. So if you go to Legendary Relationship, you can find their book under our suggested reading.
Yep. So it's Legendary.
See if we can bring it up.
Yeah, we have.
My media guy was behind. He got to type.
Yeah, I got to get all my stuff together. You didn't cue me up for that one, baby.
I know, right?
Yeah. But you know what? I'm quick on the draw here. I'll get you there, baby. Don't worry about it.
Let's see if we can bring it up on the thing.
Boom! Look at that! Bang!
Nice.
Right there.
That's legendaryrelationship.com
/books. This is where we have all a list of books, and
there's their book right there. So if you guys are thinking about getting their book, please go to the website, legendaryrelationship.com, click on it, and get the book of Christina and I. And also, as she said, you can also get the audio. So we don't have Ricardo on there, right?
No, we don't. I got to put Ricardo on there. Nope, I don't.
Okay, Ricardo didn't make it, but he'll be on
I'll
there.
get him on there, and the essay, because the essay is as important as well. But yes, I will get it up there as well. This is not static. We always making changes as we grab new reading material and stuff. So stay right here. It's going to constantly be updated. And
so you can find their book right there.
Yep.
All right.
That's exactly where you will.
And we're honored. Well, thank you very much. We can't wait until the April. So we guys have to bring you back and promote the book. Maybe we'll do a Friday. Promote your next book that's coming out. And thanks again. I think that definitely wraps up our episode because we're supposed to be 15 minutes.
Yeah, turning it to another podcast.
I know, right?
Okay.
So thank you so much, guys.
No problem.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
thanks always for our fans out there and our viewers. Don't forget, marriages are created. They don't just happen. Take your marriages off of cruise control.
That's it.